Everybody has the possibility to be quiet, to be fully engaged in something which you can't be engaged with. There's no contradiction. Everybody has this possibility. You just have to wake up to it, to realize it. And the way you realize it is when you switch yourself off. Someone will sit down, they'll be inactive, but they'll be thinking to themselves, they'll be feeling, they'll be planning, they'll be regretting, doing all these social things, plotting and planning, doing what they have to do. Then there's complete silence. So, you just gave an example. If everyone can hear that you just did a breath in and a breath out. This wasn't a silent breath. So if you breathe in and you breathe out silently, then you watch your breath go in and you witness your breath come out. So you command your eyes to go in quietly and go out quietly. So your senses are following something that can't be heard. So that's silent. So if you don't listen and you watch your breath, then your internal dialogue switches off. If you listen to the breath, then you huff and puff and blow someone's house down, the pig will get cranky. If you listen to it, then it's just like having an internal dialogue. And yeah, so there's a shock to your body. That's pure silence. So you're laughing about something so ridiculous, and it's really funny. So that's just witnessing your body consciousness in terms of your silence. You can be silent and absolutely blissful at the same time. So then you're totally engaged in a level of feeling, and there's nothing else there. There's no thought but the joy of just being in the room. And can you feel it? What's in the air? Yeah. This is what we've all forgot. What's in the room at the moment. And your social self can't survive with this amount of silence in the room. We're changing, and we're changing really rapidly. And just take you back to your own experience. Your change is so rapid. The silence that you've experienced is so profound that you're actually saying, well, I don't want to lose this. When I leave, you won't lose it. And you're wondering, where was it before you got here? And that's the change that's going on. People are realizing, you're crying. Yeah. You're remembering yourself, that's it. But he's crying because his application to life has been opposite to what he's realizing. So the seer inside cries. Not out of unhappiness, but because you're at the moment remembering yourself. And at the same time realizing that the way you lived has not really been who you really are. So when you discover yourself, it's quite often people cry. And that's what anagva is. You ask the question, what's anagva? To bring people to a threshold of silence so they can find themselves. Once you've found yourself, then your journey really begins. You don't have to be like I am. You have to be like you are. And your true power comes to the surface. And that's how you overcome your conundrums. For yourself. And you know without doubt, with absolute certainty, what can't be explained.
Nobody understands what is happening. Not Buddhists, not Christians, not government scientists. No one understands what is happening. So forget ideologies. They betray, they limit, they lead astray. Just deal with the raw data and trust yourself. Nobody is smarter than you are. And what if they are? What good is their understanding doing you? Inform yourself. What does inform yourself mean? It means A, transcend and mistrust ideology. Go for direct experience. What do you think when you face the waterfall? What do you think when you have sex? What do you think when you take psilocybin? Everything else is unconfirmable rumor, useless, probably lies. So liberate yourself from the illusion of culture. Take responsibility for what you think and what you do.
You begin to watch yourself. And as you watch yourself, you become aware of other people. And as you become aware of other people, you begin to be totally absorbed in what really needs to happen. When I look at you, I look into my heart at the same time. And as I look into my heart, I feel you while I see you. So you become me and I become you. You go back to the point where you feel vulnerable, and then you express yourself from that vulnerability by being of service to people and loving yourself through loving other people, and be silent and be non-violent. And then you honestly come to terms with your real self.
How could we possibly take an action against another human being and not feel the impact of it? So all these questions of where does that split happen? When a being loses the connection to their source consciousness in their body, then they forget how to be in respect with their relations. And the greatest challenge here is the forgetting. And that the point was to bring tools and resources, initiations, what you call medicine, to help us remember who we are, who I am, who you are, so that those atrocities that have transpired for thousands of years can go out of style. You know, it's like, why would you ever take an action against yourself if you actually remembered that I am you in Lakesh?
Just imagine Jesus is on the cross. And he says, "Oh my God, why do you forsake me?" These words have separated you from your own identity. You identify with the power beyond you instead of the power within you. So these words are crucial to create separation. And the idea that we're less than what we are, and something else has ultimate control over our destiny, this is not true. We have ultimate control over our destiny. We are our hearts. The Aramaic language has a different understanding to the way it's been interpreted. And even when it was interpreted into Aramaic, how do you know that's what was said? Now, just say he was on the cross, and instead of saying, "Oh my God, why do you forsake me? Oh my Father," didn't he really say, "Oh my beloved, why do you forsake me?" When he said, "Oh my beloved, why do you forsake me?" he was saying, "Oh my heart of hearts, the heart of another crucifies me. Why does another heart harm me? My heart is in with you, and your heart is within me. My heart of hearts. Oh my beloved, why do you forsake me? Oh my heart, why do you injure me?" That's the truth. Then we become connected to the most profound union there is, our hearts, and what we do to each other. So when you crucify someone, or you crucified yourself, you understand that the heart of another is totally misunderstood. That you are inside of me and I am inside of you. And would you hurt yourself? Of course not. And that's why it's so very important to come to terms with our inevitability as human beings. The very last thing that we'll be looking for at the end of our life is our beloved, the heart that we have within another. If we can't find that heart, then we die alone. So we best live with the idea of our inevitability and cultivate this preciousness.
The highlights of the journey to coming into the place where we're at now. I will not say the place where we're at now. I will say the place where we have been, and that we are learning how to shift from. We came there, we got there, mostly from small choices, one by one choices, moments in time in which we faced traumas, we faced challenges, we faced inner battles, and for the most part it's individuals who have had the experience of their power being taken away, oftentimes as a child, by a parent, by a teacher, and as their power is taken away, they compensate because they try to take their power back, which is not something that you can actually do. You can only recognize that your power is not taken away. It has never gone in the first place. When you try to take your power back, you end up taking power from other people. That's the same pattern of response that happens, and has happened over and over and over and over again throughout time. And the conditioning involved with that, as we've grown up as a species, and as we've come into this modern age and civilization as it has been, the levels of complexity by which we have patterned our process of taking power from other people is just phenomenal. And to remove that curse, to clear that pattern, we have to go back to the place of recognition that our power never gets taken away, and that we are our power. You can't take away the I am. You can't take away me. The moment we stop blaming other people, other things, blaming the world outside of us for our own pain, our illness, our challenges in the physical world, that's the moment we take our power back.